Hi everybody. So I'm here in my EGolf. So I just want to explain a couple of things to you. So as I've been driving this for the last 2 weeks, I've figured something out. I think it's incredible, and I don't know why Tesla didn't do this. I'm not any means saying that this car's better than Tesla. It obviously doesn't have the full range capability a Tesla has. And actually, this is a precursor to me getting a Tesla. So anyway, here's the bottom line. So this tells you what your regen is. This tells you how much you're using the voltage. What I've recently found is as I'm going down the freeway, I used to have it in brake mode, which is kind of like it's D, but with the regen once you let off, which I imagine most people would use just by default, as I've seen on some of the forums. But I use it through the city because recouping is helpful for the electric vehicles, right? So just make this really quick. What I found out is on the freeway, you want to leave it into just drive mode. Apologies for that. Leave it in drive mode, and what happens is it actually coasts really well because it doesn't have a regen. Cars are heavier because of the batteries. It coasts really well. So what happens is, you're using somewhere around 2 to 3 of the bar, the voltage usage, and when you let off the throttle, it just goes to zero. You're still using like battery accessories, power steering, in the sense of an EV power steering, the radio, daylight, running lights, stuff like that. But that is what I've been finding is the best, is just to put it in drive mode, regular drive mode, no regen, no nothing. Drive down the freeway, it coasts really, really well. And then when you go to apply the brake, it actually regens with the application of the brake, kind of like a regulator or an alternator to, regen at what level you want. I found this out by having it in just B mode. And the B mode, which is like a brake, 1 foot, use, you go, down the street, you let off the fuel, you let off the accelerator, coming to a stop, and it, does single pedal, so it regens, brakes for you. You can do a really good job of that without having to use the brakes. But as I found, me coming to a stop, somebody cutting you off, just coming down to a stop faster than you thought you had to, you apply a brake, and this, as it show, let's say here, I apply more brake, and boom, it comes down to here, and I'm like, is that actually telling the computer to regen harder? And it is. So I've actually found that I like this car more than I thought I would. I really enjoyed it for what features I had already had with, electric. Eco mode has 3 modes. You tap it, you hit it once, it tells you standard. 2 more times, you got Eco and an Eco Plus. The Eco Plus doesn't let you use some of the AC and stuff like that. And so anyway, just telling you a little bit more about that. If you put it into drive mode, and then you put it over you pull this over like your Chiptronics, it adds 3 levels of regen for you. So you've got the 3 levels. Then you got regular D mode, or drive, that when you're going down the freeway is what I found, and going down hills, just put it into D, and then you coast, and then if necessary, light changes or somebody gets in front of you or some reason to slow down, it's already here. You just pull it back once, and it kicks in the regen, and it puts it into a position where you're back into using like your brake pedal or using a regen, one single pedal to work. Anyway, I thought this might help decide your decisions with getting one of these. I would say if you're going to use the car around, let's say, 60 miles a day, might be a little bit, because you got one way 60, 120 miles, you might barely make it. I don't know, I haven't did a full battery charge on this yet, but tomorrow will be. But I wanted to inform you on the brake modes. So just a heads up, if you ever go test drive the car, put it into D mode. It doesn't do any brake, but you apply your brake and it regens for you. So it still had that thought process of regenning. And then you also have the, pull it over for plus for 3 different regens, push it back to the side to take off the regen. And then you have eco modes. I haven't found it to be very helpful in Eco Plus yet. It doesn't provide enough power when you're on the freeway. So that's just freeway I'm talking about. The Eco mode, I put it in the first Eco. You still get AC. You still cruise down the freeway. You don't have too much of an issue with that. And if you apply your brake or your accelerator there, you barely can see it, right? You apply that all the way to the floor. There's a little button, or I don't know if it's on the floor. There's no button on the floor that I could see. It's probably up in the dash. But as you push down the throttle, it goes to the floor, let's say, and then you've actually, if you're in eco mode, one of these, you can actually get out of eco mode temporarily because it's like an override button. Really crazy cool, I think. By the way, this is a EGolf 2016 SE. It is not the SEL. The SEL gives you the option to have the cruise control, adaptive cruise control, to where it's going to slow down for you. Also, as in one of my other videos, the SEL, you have to make sure your version of SEL, because I hear some come with it and some don't, does have the supercharging capability. It has the 2 supply of power and ground underneath the current plug-in, that wand, the handle, the gun, whatever you want to call it, to plug it in. It has an actual other, so you have to pull a little cap out of that. Make sure that's there. Don't let the dealership just tell you that's how it works. So just to recoup or reiterate on the freeway, put it in D. You can put it on single or the Eco or Eco Plus, however you feel, and then it will regen for you in D mode. The regen is nothing to do with the eco mode. Just a heads up. That just tells the car not to allow the accelerator to be so specific with power. Anyway, longer than I expected video. The possibility of doing a regen in 2 different other modes. Just keep in mind, take a look, see if it's cool for you. Got a couple other videos on the eGolf, and so far tomorrow will be my first day to have the car full charged. I just drive around town with this car, have yet to have to drive my Audi. Anyway, have a good one. Bye. Any questions? Leave them below. Throw some likes. Thanks. Bye.